Spring is here and we finally get outside and play some golf. And I'm sure you're as excited as we are because we've been inside all winter long, working on speed, working on our swings, getting ready to go out there and play some of our best golf this year. And if you're just a little bit late to the party and maybe you took some time off, we got a couple quick things that you're gonna be able to do to increase your speed and your precision. So make sure you stay tuned because you're not gonna wanna miss this. So without a doubt, if you figure out what golfers are interested in and you search anything on social media or YouTube, you're destined to find videos about adding speed. And everybody has a simple solution for adding speed, and they all tell you that you can gain a ton of it very, very easily and quickly. But I actually think that's true. And the reason that I think that's true is because I think a lot of what gets said about how we create speed and how we swing the golf club simply are just not true. And one of the biggest things that I think every golfer can benefit from is understanding that whether you're Mrs. Haverkamp or you're Bryson DeChambeau, you have 1 second from the second that this golf club starts moving to the time it hits the ball. We all have 1 second, and it doesn't really matter how far or how well we hit the ball, we have that 1 second. And what we have to realize is 2/3 of that second is going to be backswing. So we have very little time in the downswing to cram all of these thoughts into what we should be trying to do to make speed. And we need to learn to get this golf club moving faster so that we can actually apply some brakes during the downswing to accelerate the club head. And that's really what a lot of golfers fail to do, is they actually make a ton of speed at the hands, but they generally don't get that club head to release and to kick into the ball, which creates high ball speed. So they're really good at pulling the hands through and making speed at the hand level, but they really struggle getting that speed out to the club. And the reason that that tends to happen isn't because they don't have the strength or the power in their golf swing, it's actually because they don't have any break. And typically the reason they don't have any break is because they're trying to apply the speed in the wrong place. So what we're gonna take a look at next is where we actually want to apply the speed in our golf swing and how that's gonna help you take way better advantage of the ground and create way more ball speed. So like we said, we've got 1 second during the golf swing to apply as much work to the golf club as possible. And then not only do we have to amp it up and load the golf club, but then we have to unload the golf club in that same second. So there's a lot going on and we don't have a lot of time to waste. But a lot of us who struggle with poor contact and poor timing and poor sequencing generally are just trying to get the ball into play. So if you're one of those players who tends to hit it a little crooked, so you try to swing it a little bit easier for a little more precision, I actually think that that's making you a little more crooked, and I think you could benefit from this as well. And where most golfers that really struggle the most tend to struggle at is in the very beginning of their backswing. And that's what we're gonna look at in this video. We're gonna talk about how we're really gonna ramp up the speed of the backswing to really help you be able to become more athletic and more coordinated, relying more on your nervous system and less on your brain telling yourself what to do. So very, very simply, this is a pretty cool one because there's not a lot of thought to this. And if you're somebody who likes to try to put a lot of work into the golf swing, this is gonna be right up your alley. But all we're gonna do is we're gonna get set up with a driver. So I've switched over from an iron to a driver. I'm not saying you can't do this drill with an iron, but typically the iron shafts are a little stiffer and the head's a little heavier, so that can be a little bit much in the beginning. And if you're somebody who's maybe a little bit older or maybe doesn't swing it quite as fast or isn't used to moving this golf club very fast, we can also scale down to just using an alignment stick like this one here, and we can swing this in the beginning as we get used to swinging faster and having to manage the weight of the club. So if you're starting with the driver though, and you're in pretty good shape and you move this thing pretty well, all we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and make our normal grip, nothing crazy here. Okay, we're gonna get into kind of our normal posture, which for me is about there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the golf club from the starting point right here behind the ball over here to where I'm about shaft parallel to the ground. Now, when I get shaft parallel to the ground, what I wanna see is that that club head is maybe parallel to my hands or maybe slightly below my hands. But what we don't wanna see is the club head above the hands when we do this. That's the big no-no. So if you see a lot of that when you look back, That's not quite what we're going for here. So we don't want to get that club head way above this left arm. We want to feel like it's staying more level or slightly underneath the left arm. So what we're going to do in this drill is we're going to make that grip. We know what it's supposed to look like now, and we're just going to go to that same position, but we're going to go as fast as we can. So what that's going to look like is something like that. So you can see I'm really trying to put a lot of work into that golf club early on. And the reason I have this alignment stick here from Y Golf propped up is because that's keeping me from wanting to suck this club head way to the inside, which I can see from down the line. So for a lot of my friends out there that have way too much face roll in the backswing, this is going to be really good for you. We don't want to get this club working in. We want to get this club feeling like it's working out and across, and that's really going to help us do some dynamic things in the backswing and help us create more load into that trail side, helping us transfer that pressure and helping us get more speed into the club. So now that we've seen the drill a few times, we've put it into action, we've got a good feel for what that kind of feels like, getting that club moving a lot faster from the beginning. So now that we've got a good feel for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start blending that actually into a full swing. So once again, we're gonna do this no ball with reckless abandon. So if you're somebody that likes to hit balls every time you do this and you're gonna hit a ball while you try to do this, it's totally fine with me. We just need to be aware that we're not worried about where the ball is going. We're not trying to worry about the face in the first couple of swings. We're just simply trying to make this golf swing as fast as humanly possible without falling on our face. That's really the goal here, is just trying not to fall on that face. So we're gonna go ahead and get it ramped up here. I'm gonna get into my posture. I'm gonna make sure that I'm ready because I'm gonna get this thing moving pretty quick. But I'm gonna send it as fast as I can and then swing it through. Here we go. And we can see that that really creates a dynamic, quick tempo swing, but that's forcing me to use my body and to be more athletic. I'm relying way more on my instincts, way less on my thoughts and where the club is in time and space. And that's gonna be super helpful for people that have a hard time pumping the work into the driver and wanna take it back super slow and kind of drag this thing back, and we just run out of time. We don't have any more time. Then we react very quickly and we throw the club head trying to catch up. And unfortunately, it just doesn't work out very well for speed creation. So by simply adding this little drill where we're just trying to really ramp up that speed and effort in the backswing, it can really pay off some massive dividends across the bag for you. So from a logical perspective, I totally get where people are coming from. Taking it back a little bit slower seems like we would have an easier time. But once again, we're trying to do something dynamic. We're doing something athletic. And we want to kind of get this golf club moving quick so that we can create some club head speed, so we can take advantage of the length that we can create so that we create more scoring opportunities for ourselves on the golf course. So I think that this is super impactful for a lot of people, especially for those who are trying to actively slow down their backswing in an effort to gain some control. I promise, I really think this will help. And if you look into kind of human motion and how we go about creating the best human motion and the most consistent human motion, we're gonna find that we don't wanna have a lot of interference from the brain. We only have a second. It's very difficult to have more than one or two thoughts within that second. So making this more athletic and less thought driven is gonna be super impactful for a lot of golfers out there. So let us know how it works for you. Did you gain some speed? Did you gain some precision? Let us know in the comment section. We're always happy to hear those stories. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe because that really helps us out a ton as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, keep grinding.